This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big
Sag mir,
building
ob es zu laut
where
oder
he
zu
was
leise ist. Bitte einmal
employee
bitte
number
Chat. Danke.
427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order.
Oh,
This is
wow.
what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Yay, wir
And
sind
then
happy.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Was ist, wenn ich mich jetzt hier nicht wegbewege? Und ich will an den PC jetzt. Ich will mich aber nicht hier weg. Chat, ich will hier nicht weg. Das ist, glaube ich, warum wir Frozen Ketten. Weil die Frames. Hier, wir setzen sie einfach mal hoch. Okay, funktioniert super. Nicht. Super. So, jedenfalls. Die Uhrzeit passt gar nicht. Okay, dann haben wir nichts, ne? Wir können auch gar nichts mit irgendwas interagieren, ne? Die Tür ist logischerweise zu. Diese
All of
Tür
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Boah, nee, nein. Lass mich das da mal leben. Nee, irgendwie.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story. And no matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Es ist sehr hell hier, würde ich sagen. 400 Who's erwartet? Ja, wer nur? Ich kann gar nichts mit. Der PC ist an. Den PC gerade ausgemacht? Weiß ich gar nicht. Guck mal, ich kann nicht mal mehr in meinen Raum rein. Och nö. Oh nö, ich bleib jetzt hier. Okay, natürlich nicht. Ich mache hier raus mit diesem Video. Mal. Wenn sowieso keiner da ist, kann man auch die Rechner ausmachen, oder? Who the mighty have fallen? Ich kann nicht mal springen, Alter. Für was gibt es eigentlich alles irgendwie Achievements? Also bis jetzt habe ich noch keins. Die Tür ist zu, die ist zu. Ich versuche gerade alles irgendwie zu ertriggern, ne?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Ich weiß nicht, ob ich durch die linke Tür möchte. Wie ist denn das so, wenn ich jetzt einfach durch die rechte gehe? Also er möchte, dass ich da durchgehe, aber was ist, wenn ich jetzt einfach sage?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Ich gehe einfach mal nicht das, was er mir sagt. Weil da habe ich keine Lust zu. Nee. So weit kommt's noch.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all.
Also ich mach's doch einen Ticken lauter für euch. Wartet mal.
Just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in. Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Boah, ist das nicht ein geiles Bild, Chat? Was meint ihr? Boah, das ist so
At this
spaßig.
point, Stanley's
Toll.
obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Wer weiß das schon? Na komm.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nö.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ich kann auch noch nicht mal mehr zurück, ne? Nein, natürlich nicht. Ich muss dazu sagen, was ist denn, wenn ich das hier tue? Ist das erste Ende?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Warte mal, war da noch eine andere Tür gerade offen? Nein.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Ich werde erstmal auf diesen Wir latschen nicht das, was er sagt, hier durch.
Yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley
Weil
took the first
ich
open door on
möchte,
his left.
also man muss ja nicht immer nur nach dem gehen, was der Dude sagt, oder?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about.
Ich habe jemand
Please,
vergessen.
stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Wow, okay. Hätte man das hier eigentlich... Hätte ich bestimmt, ne?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Lass mich doch noch mal auf diesen Weg hier. Na gut, komm, gehen wir hier durch. Aber hier ist doch sonst gar nichts. Ins Nichts.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Boah, will ich ans Telefon gehen?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now. This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Was ist, wenn ich jetzt nicht I drücke? Was ist, wenn ich jetzt nicht I drücke? Chat, was ist, wenn ich jetzt nicht I drücke? Was ist dann? Na gut, ich muss es, glaube ich.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Da geht's den Fernseher.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
Warum will ich denn mit denen Zeit verbringen?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Nö.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Cool. Also, damals,
It
liebe
was such a
Leute.
wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
Ne, ne, ne. Ich möchte hier raus. Ich möchte hier raus. Ich möchte hier raus.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Ich kann hier gar nirgendwo pennen.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Das Schlimme ist, ich kann ja nicht mal irgendwas machen.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Ach so, okay, natürlich. Dürfen wir das jetzt nochmal hier alles
All of his
durchgehen?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a
Ich glaube, ich
memo.
habe jetzt alles aus dem rechten Raum. Nein. Habe ich nicht. Denn
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was
was
not
ist
the
denn,
correct
wenn
way to
wir,
the meeting room, and
nachdem wir aus dem,
Stanley
in
knew
dem
it
rechten
perfectly
gegangen
well.
sind,
Perhaps he wanted
wieder
to
in den
stop by the
Zwischenraum
employee lounge
latschen?
first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Ja, warte mal. Ich will mal was versuchen.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Ich hatte nämlich das hier noch nicht gemacht. Nix, okay. Ihr macht mir hinter mir die ganze Zeit die Türen zu.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Die ganze Zeit mache ich ja nichts, was er sagt, ne? Also gehe ich durch die blaue Tür.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nein, ich will durch die blaue Tür.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
Neuer Raum, den er will. Kann man irgendwie speichern? Nein. Gehe ich jetzt den offiziellen? Ach komm.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Ich sag mal, es war mal was anderes als eigentlich. Du kriegst eine 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling.
Yay!
Based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
The Stanley Parable Worldwide Leaderboards. Was ist denn, wenn wir nochmal hier hingehen?
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now I'd love the opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out, I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot. Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley. And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
Oh, netter Twist-Sound. Nein, ich ignoriere ja alles, das, was er sagt. Muss ich es doch jetzt echt nach. Okay. Na gut, jumpen kann ich nicht. Das ist mir schon aufgefallen. Aber gut, dann spielen wir ein bisschen Survival-Gedöns. Wir sind ja schon aus Minecraft raus.
No, it can't be.
Ich gehe einfach hier lang, ja?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly, block it off. Oh, thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful. See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed. Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Hauptsache hier steht auch
Are you
Rocket
doing
League.
it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely Hold on. What are you doing? Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have...
Licht wäre irgendwie schön. Haben wir irgendwie Licht? Ich glaube nein, oder? Gucken, interagieren zusätzlich. Einhändige Fortbewegung. Alles nicht betretbar, ne? Ne. Ich weiß nicht wohin. Ja, natürlich, ist ein krasses Grafik-Update. Hab ich nicht. Ne, ich bin nicht mehr auf Minecraft. Ich dachte gerade schon. Ach lol. Ja, da läuft man natürlich im Also ich auf jeden Fall, ich kann hier mit nichts interagieren, ne? Aber was kann ich hier actually machen? Eigentlich ja so groß wie gar nicht.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.